Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Julie Mann. I'm also known as the Habit Fixer, and I love working with women over 50 who want to regain their mojo and age well. And I do that through EFT, which is a simple tapping technique, nutrition, skincare, and digital products. And today I'm joined by the fabulous Sam Feltham. And if you don't know him, he is, and I'm reading this, Director of the Public Health Collaboration. So I cannot wait to hear what you're going to be talking about, Sam, and I believe it's going to be all about productivity habits.
You bet. Looking forward to it.
Brilliant. So I'll hand straight over to you.
Excellent. So, I mean, in terms of productivity, it's been an interesting journey because, you know, the standard approach is, right, fit in as much as possible, you know. However, life is a marathon, not a sprint, right? And it's not just a case of ramming everything in as much as possible, because otherwise, you know, you're just going to end up burning yourself out. And then in the long term, you're not as productive because you're not able to keep up that pace, basically. So you do need to look at it as a marathon, not a sprint. Obviously, like everyone in my younger years, it was a case of, yeah, you know, jam it in. But like as time goes by, you start to become, well, hopefully more wise. And that's kind of where I've ended up. And I'll recommend a book straight out the gate. So 4,000 Weeks is the title of the book by a journalist called Oliver Burkeman. Now, I'll preface that with how many weeks do you think, and you'll know the answer because I just said it, but how many weeks is the average human lifespan?
4,000.
Exactly. But it's a surprising number, isn't it? That's like, you know, 80 years basically. And so what I've actually ended up doing, kind of based on a recommendation within the book, is actually to track the number of weeks that I'm living. Right, so I can just grab this off of my wall here, because I've got one of my productivity things is that I have lots of little whiteboards basically. So I have number of weeks lived. So I'm at 2062, and I put the week commencing date at the bottom just so I can track it easier. So I've lived 2062 weeks, right? Ideally, I mean, even though the average is 4,000, I want to get to 100 ideally, so that's 5,200, right? So yeah, that's something that kind of keeps your toes on the coals basically, and kind of motivates you to, right, we've got to get moving here, because time is passing. However, that's not to say it's a sprint. Again, it's a steady marathon pace that you want to keep. Now, in terms of kind of actual productivity things that I do focus on smoothness rather than speed. So it's kind of, you know, it is absolutely about creating that workflow. But I basically schedule everything that I do, everything, absolutely everything. So like all of the tasks that I have for the week ahead, I will absolutely schedule everything as much as I can, and work around meetings that I've got, you know, time with the kids even. I try to kind of like look ahead in terms of all that and try and schedule everything. That can feel a bit robotic to a lot of people, but it certainly helps me kind of, you know, plan out my day to create that smoothness, basically. And to kind of give you an example of that, not from my day-to-day life, but in one of Oliver Burkeman's previous books, which was The Antidote, which is really good as well. He gives this example of at Great Ormond Street. There was a bit of a flurry of infant deaths when they were exchanging children from the operating theatre to intensive care. And the lead surgeon kind of wanted to investigate this, what is going on, what are we doing? And it turned out that it was basically a cascade of minor errors by everybody that created that. And so it was very brave of that surgeon to actually kind of, you know, try and tackle that, because it's a bit of a sensitive subject for everybody. But he went about tackling it. And then, basically he was watching Formula one weekend and was watching the pit crew, how amazing they were, like everything, like so quick and everything. And so he actually got in touch with, I think it was the Ferrari team, and asked them to come in to look at what they were actually doing. So he kind of like totally thought outside the box, you know, from a Formula One pit crew to a surgery team. And they came in and kind of made some suggestions, but one of the main things that they got them to focus on was, rather than speed, you focus on smoothness. Just be smooth with your movements, be smooth with all of with your intention, basically. And focusing on smoothness, a byproduct of that is that you get faster, which is obviously the end result, but the focus is smoothness. So, you know, in your workflow, focus on smoothness rather than speed, basically. That's kind of my overall philosophy.
I love that. Don't really hear the word smoothness. And also now I'm completely fascinated to work out how many weeks I've got left on average. Yeah. But it's a really great thing, isn't it? Because, you know I'm guilty of it as well, but a lot of us live our life thinking, you know, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, but actually we have no idea. So with that little whiteboard, you've got a reminder that actually, you know, life is short, and actually that might be the average, but you know, life, it can be cut short in an instant. So I really, really love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Sam. I've just got back actually from a wonderful holiday in Greece, and it was long overdue, and I was really, really struck by the fact that actually when I got back, I was like, I really want to create a life where I do less and I'm way more effective. And so thinking about being, you know, thinking about that smoothness is really, really helpful. So thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I'm going to put all your links below this video. So if you've been grabbed by what Sam has said, do check him out. So all there is for me to say, Sam, is thank you for your pearls of wisdom, and thank you everyone else for listening and watching.